and welcome to Nursery Rhymes in Modern Times, where we are investigating nursery rhymes of old and how they fit or maybe do not into our modern context. Today we're going to be talking about how so many nursery rhymes have to do with injuring people, or people getting hurt, or people needing some help, and these nursery rhymes are ones that folks have grown up with for generations. And generally, that means that it's very easy to pass those on to the next. But as we are caregivers, our teachers, our educators, it's our responsibility to make sure that the things that we are imparting to our children are helpful and useful and beneficial as they move forward. So when we're talking about these nursery rhymes that have people getting injured, what exactly are we teaching to our kiddos in sharing them with them? One is Rockabye Baby. So if you've grown up in an English-speaking community, chances are you've heard this lullaby sometime. Generally, it's sung to little babies as they're going to sleep, and it goes like this. Rockabye baby in the treetop, when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle and all. So it's a really lovely tune. It's very sing-songy. It has a lot of rhyming and nice words. But then you're like, well, why is the baby cradle in the tree? And why is no one concerned that it's going to fall out of the tree? Now, of course, there is historical context as far as what this rhyme itself means and what it meant initially. But as we're sharing it with kiddos today, that is the message that they're going to be coming away with is there's a cradle in a tree and the baby is falling, and why does nobody care about this? You also have Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So generally, as we are singing this one, you're thinking about Jack and his crown being his head, probably. So he broke his crown. Or that you just fell down the hill. Again, there's no one really to help them. But in this context, again, there's historical relevance too. But this might be a lesson of if you are climbing up a big hill to do something, be careful on your way down that you don't trip and fall and hurt yourself. So having a nursery rhyme as like a modern moral lesson is totally relevant. There's also this old man, when you're talking about the it's raining, it's pouring song with this old man. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. He went to bed and he bumped his head and he didn't wake up in the morning. So a lot of times you are singing this song because it's raining outside, so we're singing a song about it's raining. But then you say, okay, with this old man, he went to bed and he bumped his head and he didn't wake up. So why didn't he wake up, and how did he bump his head, and why is nobody checking on this poor person who has fallen asleep and maybe isn't waking up? We don't really know. So again, it's a song that as you're really listening to the lyrics, especially if you've grown up with them and heard them many, many times, you may not be thinking so much about the lyrics themselves anymore because it's such a common, familiar tune to you. So as we are sharing these kinds of songs with our kiddos, what message are we sending? Is it a song or a rhyme that is teaching a lesson, being careful, making sure that you're taking care of one another? Is it a song that maybe is just funny or meant to be funny, but comes across in a way that now people are thinking about it and it might not be funny anymore? So as you're thinking about the nursery rhymes that you're sharing, especially the ones that have been around a long time that may be so familiar to you that you just think about them as another nursery rhyme, think about the words you're saying. Think about what you're communicating to the kiddos that you serve and whether it is beneficial. We have so many great options of nursery rhymes that you can choose from. There's lots of new songs that are being created all the time for kids. And so if you're looking for one that's specific to rain, you're going to have a lot of options. And then when you do work in a nursery rhyme that maybe has to do with injuring someone or someone getting hurt, having a conversation about that might be helpful as well. So if you've got a kiddo who might be maybe nervous about what happened to the character in the nursery rhyme you're singing, having that dialogue can really be helpful as well. So mostly this is just kind of a reminder to be conscious of the words that you're using with your kiddos, of the songs you're singing, of the books that you're reading, to make sure that they are communicating what you're intending for them to communicate, and possibly if they have a secondary meaning for the kiddos that you serve. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would love to know your thoughts about nursery rhymes and songs that do have to do with injuries and how you have approached that with your kiddos, if you have stopped using them completely or if you have found a different way to use them. Please feel free to share in the comments below, or you can reach out to me directly. Thanks again so much for joining me today, and I will see you again soon.